What if I told you there are 30 million people on this planet, the size of Saudi Arabia's entire population, who have no country, not because they're nomads, not because they chose this, but because a group of men in suits sat down after a war, drew some lines on a map, and simply forgot them. This is the most important story you were never taught in school. Go back to 1920. The Ottoman Empire has just collapsed. It's the biggest power vacuum the Middle East has ever seen. Britain, France, they move in fast. And here's the thing, they actually promised the Kurds a homeland. The Treaty of Sèvres, 1920. It's right there in writing. Then, 3 years later, a new treaty, Lausanne, 1923, gone. Kurdistan, erased. 30 million people, suddenly minorities, in 4 countries that don't want them there, speaking a language that some governments made illegal. 1 people, 4 cages. Fast forward to 2014. ISIS is moving, and I mean moving, capturing cities in 48 hours, executing thousands, the Iraqi army, dropping weapons and running. Who stopped them? Not a superpower, not NATO, the Kurds, the Peshmerga in Iraq, the YPG in Syria. And here's the image that broke the internet: women. Female Kurdish fighters on the front lines, because ISIS believed that dying at the hands of a woman denied them paradise. So the Kurds weaponized that fear. The US watched, sent weapons, called them partners, and the Kurds bled, so the rest of the world could scroll past it on the news. They didn't just fight ISIS, they broke the caliphate.
The parameters outlined in the draft are unacceptable.
We understand your position, but stability is paramount for the region.
So after all of that, after the blood, the sacrifice, the broken cities, you'd think the world would say, okay, you've earned it. Here's your country. Right? Wrong. Here's the cold math of geopolitics. Turkey has 20 million Kurds inside its borders. Iran has 10 million. An independent Kurdistan next door. That's not inspiration, that's a revolution waiting to happen. So Turkey pressures, Iran threatens, and the US just pivots. Remember 2019? Trump pulls troops from northern Syria. Turkish forces move in. The same Kurds who fought ISIS abandoned in a single phone call. The Kurds didn't lose on the battlefield. They lost in a room they weren't even invited into.
Niha, ki dikare ve boje?
Ez dikarim. Eu ve!
But here's what I keep coming back to. Every empire that tried to erase the Kurds is gone. The Ottomans, gone. Saddam's Iraq, gone. The ISIS caliphate, gone. And the Kurds, they've built universities, parliaments, armies. In northern Iraq, they run a semi-autonomous region more stable than most of the neighbourhood. They kept their language alive when governments banned it in schools. They kept their identity alive when maps refused to show it. There's an old Kurdish saying, "We have no friends but the mountains." But maybe that's not defeat. Maybe that's the point. When the whole world turns its back on you, you learn to build on bedrock. The Kurdish question isn't ancient history. It's happening right now. In every ceasefire negotiation, every NATO meeting, every redrawing of Syria's future. 30 million people are still waiting for the world to make good on a promise it made and broke 100 years ago. The map hasn't caught up to reality yet, but then again, it never does. Subscribe, share, because the stories that matter don't always make the headlines. Thanks for watching.